Pirate Nation on X. Square Enix's major shareholder releases 100-page presentation criticizing company management and rallying other shareholders. Not the greatest look for a company that's been completely tanking financially over the better part of the past 4 to 5 years now. And now the shareholders are starting to not just speak up, but do their due diligence, come back with a 100-page presentation and completely destroy the company that they're invested in. Well, check PC Gamer. Square Enix hit with a brutal 100-slide presentation from one of its shareholders about alleged mismanagement. Other shareholders asked to pitch in with frank views. Ouch. Square Enix has had a rough couple of years, combining $140 million in losses from abandoned projects, the shine slowly fading from Final Fantasy XIV, even if it does look like things are picking up again, and sluggish Final Fantasy sales across the board. Its newer IPs haven't done great either. Remember Babylon's Fall? No, you'd better, because it'll only exist in your memories forever. Wait, what? An award for the saddest patch notes ever goes to Babylon's Fall. The unloved Platinum Action RPG was buried this week. Version 1.4.0 patch notes. End of service. They don't care about you at all. This is what the whole saving games from Ross was all about, is not allowing that to happen. Or stop killing games. It was, oh God, that needs to happen. It's almost enough to make me feel sad for a large company. Almost. You shouldn't do that. To see it now hit with a 100-slide presentation on its alleged mismanagement from one of its major shareholders. And they have it here. It was never just entertainment. What Square Enix once brought to life was a culture that shaped an era and an industry that fascinated the world. No lies detected. But today, is Square Enix really giving birth to something genuinely new? Or has Square Enix turned away from the challenges before it and let its steps falter? You know, I wonder, by the way, if Expedition 33 did not wake everyone up in the industry to be like, man, these massive corporations were lulled to sleep with the playing it safe every single time with every single game. Expedition 33 was a Square Enix game in 1995. That was the company that would make that experience. Now it's been usurped by Sandfall and a bunch of people that just did it themselves. We know this. For Square Enix, every quote-unquote challenge has always been a chance. The power to overcome countless obstacles and bring forth works that felt like miracles to the world. And yeah, shout out to the GOAT, Chrono Trigger. Gotta love that's being there. Once again, surprise us, move us, and ignite that passion we once felt. For gamers across the globe, we have been waiting endlessly for that irreplaceable experience. External perspective on your company's management challenges. Executive summary. Okay. We're not going to read through all this, but what they're talking about from the past, what used to sell for them. Final Fantasy VII, January 1997. This was cutting edge. Final Fantasy X, this was cutting edge. This pushed the industry forward. Square Enix was the company everyone looked to for cinematic experiences, especially on the PlayStation 1. Surreal stuff that still holds up today, by the way. Like incredible graphics, incredible for the FMV. Operating income, write-offs, going through all these fun datas. Anyway, this is 100 page. Look at this. Holy. Section 2. Stagnation of revenue growth. Weak sales in the HD business. Damn. Whoever this investor was that put this together, I would imagine, has invested a shitload of money in Square Enix. And they're down a lot of money. And they're very frustrated. New IPs have also been harshly criticized. Forspoken, magical action RPG, a story devoid of charm or immersion. Only worth, this is a quote, only worth $20 to $25 or skip it. Bad cringe dialogues, bad protagonists, unlikable characters, bad acting, bad pacing, and meh generic story. And something I want to make sure we focus on here, because this is what happens when you pair yourself with a consultancy group. You can destroy your entire company. Black Girl Gamers, consultant behind Forspoken, chimes in. Gamers that thought the industry revolved around them and their comforts are now realizing it doesn't. Weird. Almost like we were right the whole time, and it does revolve around us. Yes, it does. We've had emails, comments, and threats, but you know what? We're not going anywhere. Black Girl Gamers, peace out. Their pin post, they left. Oh, I'm also blocked by them. Fun fact. Black Girl Gamers on Blue Cry giving away shoes. Yo, everyone. Today we're giving away pairs of Nike Shock Z during our stream. How about this one? They heard us. Black Ops 2 was arguably a fan fave, and Black Ops 7 is bringing it back and building on some of its best features. Read our full post here on why Sola is going back to COD after years away. I'm back on Call of Duty thanks to Black Ops 7. These are the people that you partnered your organization with. These are the people that you took advice from. The biggest Black Ops. There's a lot to consider in this new game. All new co-op campaign. Global progression across all modes for the first time. New 20 vs 20 skirmish. Doubling down on Omni movement. I'm a huge fan of the movement mechanic development. Look, as you can see, obviously Black Ops is not a Square Enix game, but you're seeing who these people are. These are the industry shills, the rah-rah of the companies of, hey, we're going to just cheerlead you guys and we want that access. Give us that access. Give us those freebies. Give us the connections. Invite us to those parties. We will then work with you, and then you can pay us as consultants on your company, and we can stay in business with that. Oh, and did I mention we're black? Because we're called Black Girl Gamers. Yeah. You end up being paired with Forspoken, and you're in a 100-page document on why a company is failing, by the way. Fun fact. Deficiency in advertising, promotion. I would argue deficiencies in who you're partnering with and consultancy, but that's another story for another day. Stagnation in revenue growth. This is also the same Square Enix that has had massive layoffs across the board in the EU and United States, with many, some could argue, are the wokies now out of jobs because Square Enix realized what was destroying their companies. And what I said when I covered that back then is, I hope it's not too little too late, because it's a massive change we've been begging for years, and they finally went through with it. But I don't know if it's enough to save them in the long run. Anyways, that's the 100-slide presentation on the alleged mismanagement from one of its major shareholders, 3D Investment, which holds a 14.36% stake in the company. Holy, no wonder 100 pages. Is now looking to get other shareholders on its side. As shared here by Business Week, 3D Investment states that Square Enix has, in the 3 years since replacing its president, been facing the following management issues: sluggish revenue growth rate, sluggish profit margins. More recently, Square Enix HD recorded massive impairment losses on game development assets, which lack earning power. So Square Enix HD is in a very serious situation. This is exacerbated by the fact that shareholders argue that Square's medium-term business plan is a little thin on details, which is true. And I would speak towards how this kind of brings into focus why I strongly feel like a Chrono Trigger remake is happening behind the scenes right now. I always said, if it was ever going to happen, it would be because Square's back is against the wall, and they have to do what they know will print them money. They got to go back to the well once more. They can't do Final Fantasy VII again. They're still in the middle of doing that, and even that is faltering. So the next best thing for Square Enix to go back to is Chrono Trigger. And even though it hasn't been officially announced yet, I am very confident it is being worked on as we speak right now for some sort of massive announcement. I wouldn't expect it announced very soon. I mean, it could be. That'd be a wild announcement at the Game Awards. But eventually, in the next year or so, I would fully expect some sort of announcement on it. The plan does not present a concrete future vision. And under the slogan reboots, it appears to be effectively leaving unaddressed the management issues. The current medium term business plan presents only extremely vague policies for resolving each problem. Dispersed development portfolio, poor platform selection, deficiencies in product design. Contains no description of specific KPIs, quantitative targets, or execution plans. They've lost their way. Square Enix doesn't even know who they are anymore. They've lost their identity. They went down the woke path way too far. They thought that they were doing what people wanted. They listened to the wrong people. And it's not like when I made videos, and it's not just me either, but one of the people making videos saying, stop going that way. This is going to destroy your company. Stop making pride creatures and pushing LGBTQ agenda across the board. Stop making these games for people that do not play your games. Stop injecting ideologies. Stop injecting pronouns. Stop removing male and female and replacing it with body type A and body type B. Make the games for your customers that fell in love with you originally. And the new customers will automatically join in. They'll see what's special about what made Square Enix tick. But as of right now, they are a shell of who they used to be. Honestly, I don't even know if the Chrono Trigger remake or whatever they end up doing with that couldn't save them at this point. It needs a massive mentality shift. And I don't know if they have enough time and money and responsibility in them to do that. Time will tell. But my goodness, this is not a great look for Square Enix. We'll just say that. But for now, I'll leave that there.